So it's pretty unusual for a movie to come out and completely surprise me, but that's exactly what Late Night with the Devil did. I watched this movie just as it came out, and surprise, surprise, I'm late with making a video on it. But Late Night with the Devil just has to be talked about. The movie is set on a talk show. It starts us off with some background information on the talk show itself and how the main character, Jack Delroy, became the host. It then gives us some background information on Jack, where we're told that he has some potential connections to the Bohemian Grove cult. We are also told that he recently lost his wife and his show has started to decline in viewers, causing him to take increasingly drastic measures to stay relevant. The movie sets up these events in such a way that it complements itself later. When the paranormal things start to happen, they seem very real at first, but one of the guests that's been invited onto the show disproves quite a lot of the occurrences. The movie mostly keeps you guessing as to what is and isn't real. Generally, such movie styles are extraordinarily rare. The only one that comes to mind off the top of my head is Shutter Island. I'm sure there is more, but they aren't seen very often. Not to mention that everyone's acting is on point. Personally, David Dastmalchian
Dastmalchian.
really stepped up his role as a declining late night talk show host. You could really tell this character was deeper than what was shown at face value. His small reactions and facial expressions when talking about specific things were very telling to subplots about his dead wife, his stress from the show's declining numbers, and his growing anger as he decided to create controversial garbage television. Das Malkian has come a long way since his cameo in The Dark Knight. You can tell that the budget for the movie was fairly low, but very similar to Blumhouse, the budget was put to great use, with exceptional practical effects and good casting. The CGI was admittedly subpar, however, I believe that adds to the movie in this case rather than take away. The reason being that the talk show is set in the 70s, where TVs were barely out of black and white. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, you aren't even sure what is real and what is a stunt to increase the ratings of the show. So you could put the dodgy CGI down to low budget, or a lack of technology back in the 70s. Whether this was an intentional decision to create questions like this in the head of the audience or just an over-analysis of the movie doesn't really matter because it adds to it either way. Now, I wouldn't be a fair man if I didn't talk about the negatives of the film. However, in saying that, there isn't much that I can talk about. I would say that the movie is quite short and could have been fleshed out a little more. I also didn't understand the significance of the guy dressed as a skeleton. Maybe it's just me, but I felt as if they didn't really signify anything special about that part, despite the fact that they continued to show it throughout the movie. I suppose I could also comment on the CGI, but as I stated earlier, it can be a plus or a negative to the movie if you look at it a certain way. Overall, Late Night with the Devil is absolutely worth a watch. If you enjoy movies that play with your imagination, then this one will certainly deliver. Coming in at around 90 minutes, if you end up disliking the movie, then it's not too much time wasted, although I don't think you will. So all in all, a pretty short video for a pretty short film. Remember to like, sub, and share the video with your elderly grandparents. Until next time.